what's up, everybody? Let's go ahead and turn that down as we get things started for IEM. Now, yesterday started 20 minutes late. I gotta be honest. I hope that doesn't happen again. But we should talk a little bit about things. First off, how you doing there, Zombie Grub?
I'm alright.
Say something else real quick.
Hello.
A bit low on. Should I turn you up on my end, or do you want to turn yourself up?
I can't turn myself up.
All right, then don't fiddle with anything. I'll turn you up a little bit here. There we go. Say something again.
Hello.
Oh yeah, okay, that's better. I don't know why you would be quieter than quieter than yesterday, but anyways, we're back again with the IEM Gyeonggi Qualifiers. Still won't be able to say that name.
Man.
It
Gyeonggi.
really
Gyeonggi. That's it.
You know what? I think like if I don't look at the word, it's easy, right? Like if I close my eyes, Gyeonggi. Like yeah, but if I try and read this out phonetically, it's like Gyeonggi.
Wow, that's so different.
Gyeonggi, whatever. I want to talk about who qualified yesterday, because we didn't get to cast the qualifying rounds ourselves here on the channel, so some of you guys may have continued to watch ESL, or some of you may not have even seen anything yesterday. But Hero, as in ex-CJentus Hero, Solar, Lucira, and Classic were the players to qualify through. Which is really interesting, because I really expected it to be all Zerg, frankly. Zerg was looking so ridiculous yesterday. However, 2 Zergs and 2 Protoss. Alright. 0 Terran feels bad, man, but that means there's lots of Terrans for today's qualifier, and let's hope we get to see the likes of INnoVation and Maru and what have you.
Maybe. I mean, some of those Protosses had some pretty Terran heavy brackets, so I don't know. Maybe they just got lucky.
So I just had a very interesting interaction to start the day where somebody just whispered me about a Hell to Boot Time portrait code from a year back and said that they sent a message but never got one. So I'm like, give me your email, look into it real quick, right? I checked my emails. It was sent to this guy on 9/9/2015. This happened with so many of the portrait codes where I don't know if it went to somebody's spam folder or they were just too lazy to check, but man, is it getting annoying still having people message me back about this. Because at this point, I think it's like, you snooze, you lose. We spent so long and so much dedication sending those codes out. But anyways, let's talk about what I hinted on Twitter today. Now, aside from my relentless shit posting, which I am quite good at, myself, I actually did put a poll out there to see what your guys' opinions would be on a certain project we'd be working on. So we kind of mentioned it before, but this project is coming closer and closer to fruition. And the question was, if we hosted a team house, like how would you support the project? Would you just be happy with it in concept? Would you actually put money into it? Are you not interested at all? Or would nobody put money into it and it's a waste of money, in fact, at that? I believe the poll is actually still open, but interestingly enough, we do have a vast majority saying yes, it's a great idea. 20% against in one way or the other, but 80% saying let's do it. So I don't have a lot of stuff I can announce until we have things like contracts signed and papers written. I will say, though, we are through the difficult part of the planning phase, and we have several people on board to make this project a reality. Excuse me one sec. However, we still have some finer details to iron out. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, you'll see something big from us, and we'll have awesome stuff to talk about.
Totally.
But definitely ears to the ground on that one, guys. Yesterday, we were also blown away. Again, Fricey was crazy, and I feel like we could just retire for the month off of what happened yesterday, but we are going to still dedicatingly try and bring you every broadcast that we can. Professor Chaos 7 just subbed for 3 months. Thank you so much for that. And we'll be getting into games as soon as they are available. Now, as stated yesterday, they started a little bit later. Hopefully it won't be as long of a delay this time around.
But I imagine it will be. The same deal.
Maybe. I have to bring it back just 1 second, though.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's usually the same deal because they actually want to get some of these notable names like checked in, so they're going to make sure and go around and ask where everyone is, which they've been doing for the last 5 minutes. So that's why it's almost always guaranteed to be late. Yeah. Probably 20 minutes.
Well, I Zombie Grub, streamed before the cast today. I don't suppose, did you catch any of it?
Nope.
Well, as an inopportune moment to take a sip of water, I played a 1.5 hour game on guess which map. I'm gonna see if you can actually guess. Because I know you know my
Newkirk
playstyle.
Precinct.
Nope. Newkirk was actually one of the fastest maps I played today. Because Protoss is really bad against landed Vikings.
I don't know. What map was it?
Vanai freaking research station, man. And I have not felt the sting of tilt in so long for StarCraft 2. I lost this game. Should be put out there to begin with. But this was a game where I really learned how much I hate Vipers and how stupid they are, and how all casts today, if we see Vipers, everyone should be aware I'm just gonna be bitching about them because I think they're stupid units. So,
Great experience.
Well, for those who have never seen me play before, because I actually, last year I was actually streaming a lot of my games, but I don't usually get tilted by things. In fact, I laugh off how stupid things are and move on to the next game where we discuss the Rifkin logic ways to beat it, right? No, Vipers are just stupid. I actually, forget Hydras, forget everything else and the changes that are pissing people off. Vipers are just stupid. I'm so done with... Oh! Anyways, personal bias aside, shout out to anyone who tuned in. We had like a good 100 viewers or something on my channel. But I played placement matches, and I did not place bronze. But also, I made that joke, and nobody seemed to understand it. So I had to like dig up your Twitter and like, no guys, look, this is a joke. It's not just like a shot. Like, how's your ladder adventures been going?
Haven't laddered in 2 days.
Well, where'd you end off? Because I know you didn't stay at bronze.
Diamond 1.
Okay, not bad.
I mean, every single game I got a promotion. So I went 3-2-1, 3-2-1, 3-2-1, 3-2-1.
Oh, this is like pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really easy. It's weird though because like for the first couple of games I was playing, so that like I lost one of the placement matches, which is why I figured like platinum or diamond, because someone proxy 3x reapered me, which is I should have I guess expected on Korean ladder and TvT.
I felt so bad. I did that. I proxy 3x somebody who started off so nice. He's like, "Thank you for what you do for StarCraft." And it's like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't proxy."
Oh wow.
I shouldn't 3x him,
So
right?
rude.
But then he starts talking about how good Wardy is, and I'm like, son, regrets out the window. You're going down.
Wow. Well, then I would go between getting people who are also like getting the bug or whatever, like they were in bronze or silver, who definitely were not bronze or silver and actually having to try, and getting people who were definitely bronze or silver, and I was like, oh, they haven't even built an orbital yet. Oh, poor baby. And then it kind of settled into just like, yeah, just facing people who are actually, I guess, were in their actual league. But man, was it frustrating. And it was all Terran. I'm so good at TvT now.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
You go to Korea, we see it in the IEM League, we see it everywhere else. It's all Terran over there. Except for the IEM qualifiers, evidently.
Well, they're all getting knocked out by the Zergs.
I know, it feels bad. Alright, so brackets are starting to go up. No players have been seeded yet. We'll have updates for you guys as soon as we can. There is a 3-minute delay, though. Brackets, edit command, bracket.
Thank you to Sir Jameson for the new sub, and
Twitch
Geist for the 17-month sub.
Nice. By the way, oh yeah, so the Newkirk game, by the way, Protoss, Proxy, Stargate, Void Ray, Adept All In, like that bag of tricks, right? That old meme.
Okay.
Landed Vikings are so good. Air Vikings are so good. Like, okay, siege tanks are cool and all that, but man, Vikings are so stupid. How good, like the bonus versus mechanical. Oh my god, so stupid. But anyways, as far as when the games start, as soon as the brackets are up, so your best bet is if you are feeling impatient and wondering where the games is, exclamation mark bracket in chat will take you to the bracket link. Exclamation mark giveaway will also take you to a giveaway that's going on until the end of November. So there's, I think, 3 days or something left. I know it says 26. Don't misunderstand it. There's actually like 3 days left to enter. That's gonna be fixed after the end of the weekend. But yeah, a lot of people want to know more details about the housing stuff. I can't tell you guys.
No more details.
I gave one hint in chat, but that's it. No more. We should have some pretty cool stuff to announce, though, and I think everyone's going to like it. And the idea for us is really just having something happen in Korea. We got the Korean Weekly we're going to try and build up over the December. That's going to have like a $300 prize pool for Match Reno. Thanks to them for making it happen. And other than that, this house thing I hope goes really well because it could lead into some even cooler stuff later. Other than that, back on the foreign front, we do have Ting Open Season 3 starting up in January. So if your phone plans are coming to an end, consider waiting before renewing because Ting might be able to hook you up. I will just mention briefly, while they don't sponsor us directly or anything, the promo code is still alive. It's still active. So if you can't wait for January, bttv.ting.com will save you $25 on activation fees and basically give you a month free of phone usage, as they have very, very low cost rates, especially if you're somebody who uses Wi-Fi all the time.
Yep, I use them. I still use them in Korea because reasons, but they work out.
I just want to point out, I love in the chat, we got INnoVation, we got Jakshi, we got Keen. Like, there's just like this list of Terran players here in the channel waiting to go.
Is that like Jakshi's little brother?
No, Jakshi is the chicken noise. Jakshi, Jakshi, Jakshi.
Well played.
But man, yesterday we started 23 minutes late. Let's see if we can beat that. I mean, we're at 10 minutes past the hour. We have names on the bracket. Just waiting to see if they're all seated or not.
Right. Yeah, maybe. List of matches, can check to this URL. Maybe that's his way of saying that the bracket's finalized?
Ryong's playing as somebody named Rush, and the fight's most likely CJ Bunny in round 3. It's a lot of TvT, though.
There seems to be a lot more walkover, or a lot less people, I guess, because a lot more initial walkovers.
Dude, there's Nightmare versus Dream. How is that a thing?
Get it. We don't even know anything about Nightmare.
The alternative to that is, like, INnoVation plays Hurricane in round 3, aka round 2. Could be a good follow-up.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry versus Creator happens. Like right now.
I'm asking to find out what the ESL mainstream's casting, because it's, of course, going to depend on them for us to pick our match.
I kind of want to see a TvT, though. We haven't seen a TV... No, we did see a TvT. Top Dogs. That's right.
We're 3 minutes ago and people are discussing Wardy. I want to clarify what I said earlier, because I guess I can see how it could be interpreted as BM. It's one thing to say, like, I really like what you do, but I really like this other guy and want to shut the fuck up about this other guy to somebody, right? Like, if I came up to you, the Twitch viewer, and I'm like, you know what, I really like you as a Twitch viewer, but my favorite Twitch viewer is the one next to you. Like, that's not me saying I hate that guy. That's me saying, like, shut the fuck up. Like, talk about me, please. Hello? Thank you, G-Man Bio, for the Twitch Prime sub, by the way. 2 months back to back.
Yeah. What do you feel like if you went up to Rotterdam or like, Rotterdam, you're a good caster, but Nate, it's far better.
Yeah. Like, just won't stop gushing about Nate to Rotterdam. Like, he's not going to want to hear that. Or vice versa, even. Anyways, we do have a lot of these matches starting to push forward. I think grabbing either Hurricane or INnoVation's game would be a good one. I don't know who Nightmare is. Dream vs. Nightmare is just a funny name matchup, but... Jakshi versus Hush is going on the mainstream, so we can try and get INnoVation. I say we try and get INnoVation.
Who's he playing again?
It's not about who he's playing now, it's about who's playing next round. Hurricane.
Oh, Minho right now. Suppose.
Okay, let's see if we can get this. INnoVation said hi. Hi, buddy.
Hello. Hello. Scarlet actually might have a decent shot.
Where is she in the bracket? Scarlet.
Midway. I mean, she's facing Chan Kim right now. He might win. I don't know. Like,
well,
she's pretty good.
Funny enough, though, it's Scarlet versus Chan Kim, then versus Wellmu likely afterwards, then versus either Gumi or Leenock. I don't know, man. That's a tougher bracket than it looks like.
I think she beats Wellmu, and then I think she can beat people in ZDZ, which is why I was looking at Leenock.
Okay. Well, I do wish her the best of luck. Maybe we'll catch her a little bit later on down the bracket, but big part of why I'm trying to grab INnoVation, or any Terran player for that matter, is yesterday they all got knocked out. It felt bad, man. We got to catch a couple of games here and there, but I think I want to watch the evolution of Terran, frankly.
Well,
Say evolution and more like progression, I guess.
yeah, whatever word you want to use. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested as well. I want to actually see a Terran doing well, so you have something to emulate, but it's gonna be hard.
Oh yeah, Sue's playing again today. I kind of forgot he got knocked out early. He was one of my favorites to get through quick, to be honest.
And then he got beat by Tails.
Yeah.
Is Tails playing again? I don't think I actually saw him in the bracket. It's like, oh, I'll try once, and then it won't happen again. No, there he is, versus Starry.
Good question.
Chinese guy.
Alright, well, INnoVation hasn't responded yet, but he's not in the game, so I'm going to assume we're okay to go to cast that one. I did ask if we can make the game, so we can try and get the WCS mod roll in, but no promises, guys. Everyone is looking for their opponents, though, so this should be the show getting on the road shortly, one way or the other. If we don't cast anything in the initial rounds, we can catch stuff afterwards pretty quickly. As Zombrga pointed out earlier, there's actually quite a few walkovers, so the brackets will be advancing, I think, a little bit quicker than expected.
Yeah.
So, we got the Corsair Cup coming back to BaseTradeTV tomorrow. Just mentioned that, so we'll be back on our Europe casting schedule, I guess. But there is going to be one more IEM qualifier after this. So one more of these late night 1 a.m. casts. Or I guess early morning? What category does 1 a.m. fall under? Is it early
late
morning
night.
or late night?
Late night, for sure.
But it is like the first hour of a new day.
No, still counts as late night. The day starts when the sun rises.
You know what? That's actually an interesting point. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. It's what like farmers stick to, right?
INnoVation,
crack of dawn.
Party, awkward.
Ugh, parties.
Alright, you'll probably have to real ID off me pretty quick here. Alright, so another thing to talk about, just while we're waiting, we're in the lobby, we're getting going, all the good stuff, is the Partoof coins. So, Zombrgab's normally the one who mails them, and I guess they're going on a bit of a hiatus, so she's back from Korea. So those who are going to be submitting for their Partoof coins will have to wait just a little bit longer. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, we do actually have real-life Partoof coins we minted. They're real, they're metal, they're heavy, they're awesome, and they're really, really hard to get, because you have to be subscribed to the channel for 1 year to get one. You cannot buy them, you cannot get them any other way. So I know some people did hit their 12-month sub yesterday that were asking about it. All you gotta do is send us a message on the channel. We'll verify that you've been there for a year and send you a form to fill out. Get your address and all that to send.
Huh. Unfortunate. Someone added their name to the list like 2 days after I left.
Yeah, I just noticed that. That's part of why I brought this up. It was my most recently edited thing, apparently. Thank you, by the way, to Milius Pro for the 9-month resub. Ektar for 4 months as well. In case we missed you guys, now we should be all caught up. But let's get into the action. It's going to be a TvT. We know one of these players in the bottom left. He is the grandiose, the red, the Terran, INnoVation.
He is the red. The green, Terran, is Mina.
I mean, there's like Ivan the Red and stuff like that. That's a legit thing.
Totally, I believe you. Dude, does green always looked so good on Terran?
Yes.
I feel like a darker green or something. I'm just wigging out, yo. I don't know.
So, excuse me. I mentioned before we get too far into the cast, because someone has just requested in chat. Yes, Haas is playing today. I'm going to be honest, Haas is not exactly like a first pick player for me, and that has nothing to do with me commentating on whether he's good or bad. It's just like the Chinese players coming out to play can sometimes not mean a lot, as they do actually lag coming to Korea. This has been evident through the League Fan Cup and other things. If Haas gets far in the bracket, I'm very happy to see him play, and I hope he does well. But just mentioning that we're going to be trying to catch a lot of the, again, the Terrans and the home fielding Koreans, I guess is the best way to phrase that.
Yep, Terrans. More Terrans. Now, we don't know who Mina is. And there was definitely a different name in the bracket, right?
Let me go look. Where was INnoVation on here?
Why isn't
Minho, Mina. I don't know. Same difference.
Minho, Mina? I mean, but it's French. It's European.
Yeah. Bonne nuit.
Yeah, so I guess the lag's gonna be pretty bad. You do see a couple other Europeans playing, like Bly,
Snoot.
but yeah, Snoot. They don't get very good ping to Korea a lot of the time. In fact, they're all talking about it like yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of lamenting about it, but regardless of how good or not Mina is, I think this guy could be like the #1 ranked GM player on the European ladder, and he'd still have some troubles regardless of server because it is INnoVation he's playing against. The machine, if you will.
The machine. I mean, INnoVation and TvT probably didn't do pretty well, but maybe the new patch, because we saw TvT at Top Dogs. I honestly don't remember how that went, but I know it happened. Because the Terrans are the ones that lost their initial
Yeah, they lost their initial ones and then they won the follow-up ones. So we had like TvT in the losers bracket for Group D and then TvT in the winners bracket for Group C.
Yeah.
Killers are actually showing some of the sickest Reaper moves, if you remember too, with that engineering bay.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. So right, I guess like the old cheeses still exist. You're still going to be opening up the same way, as you can see here. Like they're both one basing, which is not necessarily what they have to do, but one base or two base, get into Hellion Reapers. Here we have the change up though. So INnoVation going for Banshee is not too surprising, but Mina, and so I was talking about like changing things up, either with a new patch, just being weird in general, has a fusion core on the way. Unfortunately, it's gonna get scouted.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's not.
Mina, are you the type of player who's willing to go a battlecruiser against INnoVation? Or are you the type of player that very lamely goes for Liberator Range?
Well,
what
I don't
kind of
really
man
think
are you?
Liberator Range would be that helpful because the response to Liberators in TvT is not queens on the ground.
Plus, look at that gas. Look at those minerals.
Like,
Come
I
on,
gotta
baby.
It's actually a battlecruiser.
I would love if this was a battlecruiser.
I almost wish that it was scouted because if it's a Liberator with range that INnoVation is expecting, he gets like a single Viking, he's like, okay, I'm good. And that won't work against a battlecruiser. Like, he's actually gonna need more units here.
Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest changes to TvT. Well, that's not the biggest, actually, but one of the bigger changes was the battlecruiser being reworked. This is a unit that no longer relies on energy, but instead cooldown. So you can warp in right away. You can Yamato cannon right away. It'll cost you only the cooldown. If you float across the map of that battlecruiser, kill SCVs, and then teleport away at the last second, you're invulnerable while teleporting. However, the downside is while I'm getting super hyped, and while there's a nice scuffle going on by Mina on the other side of the map, he is bleeding out and hemorrhaging SCVs really badly.
He won't have a scan. Maybe he'll barely have a scan when the battlecruiser pops out, but there's the downside of battlecruisers.
Maybe you just Yamato cannon the Banshee because it's a cooldown and not energy based.
Well, can you Yamato if it's hidden?
Once you start a Yamato, I don't think there's any way to break it.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about that, but the point is, like, he's already
Does
cloaked.
INnoVation see that? He doesn't actually see that, by the way, on the vision. So he's just slaughtering SCVs and probably laughing about it, but the battlecruiser teleports across the map. Raven and a Viking.
Yeah, go for the Raven.
Well, there's the Yamato cannon. He's going to fly away from the auto turret because it deals so much damage now. 24 damage a shot.
Right.
But I think the Marines can deal with it.
Yeah, I think it's too much damage already. Like, if it only had to deal with the Marines and the Viking with full health, like, I think it's actually going to live for quite some time.
I do want to point out, though, like, if this is a Terran player, INnoVation does anything other than that Banshee, I think the battlecruiser has some possible merit. But it's still one base, and it has to pretty much win the game. It's not good enough to just harass and this, that, and the other. So I don't want to get anyone's hopes up too soon. But I think it's a cool move, and I like new things. I like new things a lot.
Sure, yeah. I thought it had some potential as well. I mean, it's funny that the Banshee ended up being the weakest point because they really, like, a missile turret. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
A missile turret would have obviously just been the single answer, and then I don't know. Like, maybe he could have been He might have tried to hide it too, like and gotten a Viking with the battle cruiser, so we could take on the air for surezies. I wasn't sure what he was getting out of that starport second, but that was interesting.
Some
It's highly
innovation with the diva portrait breaking my
I know
heart.
it's super annoying. Probably uses the diva. Check if he uses diva.
Yeah, for those who don't know, while you're observing, if you're watching a replay even, you can check what voice packs the players are using by having their vision on. You'll hear the sound announcements.
Very important update. I'll Echo his next map. I mean, I could see him doing something weird again, but obviously the battlecruiser, it wouldn't be a surprise anymore.
I want him to do it again. I want him to do it again. Who expects the second battlecruiser? Nobody. Not even INnoVation.
Well, the first one's not a surprise anymore, but the second one, that's going to be the real kicker. Yeah, sure.
Shut up, Zombie Grub, okay? A man can dream. Alright, let me get all the proper tabs up. Back in action. Game number 2 of this first best of 3 today. On the bottom right side, we got the Red Terran up 1 game. INnoVation.
In the top left has the blue Terran. He is Mina.
And now I'm just going to focus on INnoVation's sound effects to see if he uses diva or not. You'll hear her voice or you'll hear the default adjutant. I don't imagine he uses anything else. Although it'd be so cool if we heard like Kerrigan, just like out of the blue.
Additional supply.
INnoVation's lame and uses the default.
Oh,
Boo.
of course he would. God.
A robot for the robot.
Well, Diva Pilot's a robot.
No, the pilot's a human. The mech is the robot. Hello? Check yourself.
Diva Pilot's the robot?
Yeah, you said the pilot is the robot.
No, I said Diva Pilot's the robot.
That's not what I heard.
What?
Actually,
then you're wrong.
so a real point for a moment here. Actually, I don't often get a chance to talk to a lot of the Koreans outside of the odd Skype conversation here and there. While we're in Korea, I had a kind of interesting discussion with Gumiho, especially about, and of course we talked to Golden and Byun and some others, but about how a lot of them, I guess, aren't aware of what the fans want, so to speak. For example, Gumiho thought everyone hated him for playing mech. Like, I don't think he realized people were cheering for him to play mech specifically, right? On the other hand, a lot of people as well didn't realize, like, the person, like Golden, I tried to explain, like, a lot of people loved Golden for his personality. Like, the 40-40 thing was hilarious. It became like a giant meme, of course, but he's always been a very charismatic Korean guy, so like at live events or on his own stream, he was easy to fall in love with. Whereas a lot of players who play the game really good seldomly get that same following because they're just not as appealing. I'm not saying one thing is better than the other, but it was very, very interesting to me that these guys had no clue. Like, not that there was like a misunderstanding, but no clue about how their foreign fans felt about them, I guess.
I feel like, so the Gumiho thing is interesting, but Golden probably just didn't like, it's nice to have confirmation, I suppose. Like, that like, something's appealing some people to your stream, because he gets a pretty decent stream count, but
Yeah.
I got confirmation that it's actually you. Anyway, it's not going to be a Fusion Core this time.
Yes.
I guess it's true. Like,
Technically got the money to do it. I want him to do it. Mina!
I mean,
oh, it's a Widow Mine. Nuts.
yeah. It's, maybe the Widow Mine is a key, though. Widow Mine shoots the, Viking.
I mean, if he
Rocket.
doesn't expand, it's got to be something funky, and okay, it's just going to be Cloak Banshees out of him. So he's going to try and play this a little more straightforward. I will point out, actually, and this is a long time ago of a stretch, so I am reaching for this, but back when Banshee and Cloaked Banshee became such a big deal, when they had cost reductions and things and they overtook TvT, INnoVation was actually losing a lot of these Banshee races back in like the old Acer Team Story Cups and everything. So that dynamic hasn't changed too much. There's still a pretty heavy element on, like, if you get the first Banshee to the other base first, you're likely to win. So maybe Mina gets a little bit of extra gusto here, since Banshee should pop a bit sooner than INnoVation's.
I don't know about that.
Oh.
That would be very surprising. That would really be like going back 2 years plus.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll make it perfectly clear. It's so long ago, it's hardly worth pulling the stats from, but it is just worth mentioning that dynamic is still in existence. Regardless.
No one goes for the Or very rarely do people go for the second Banshee, I should say. Unless they absolutely know that their opponent is doing... Well, not Banshees.
Yeah. The Reaper, by the way, picking off the SCV build in the command center was a nice little catch for Mina. Cost him the Reaper, of course. But as the Banshee comes in, Cloak's finishing up. Both players complete it within like milliseconds of one another. Bit of a mistake there. Raven on the other side should guarantee this doesn't get too out of hand, though. The auto turret's actually going to be more than enough to deal with this Banshee.
Not really microing the Banshee. I mean, so they both make mistakes. Difference is Mina gets 2 SCVs killed for his mistake, I suppose. Not having Marines quite in place, and a couple Marines also went down. So overall, nicer for INnoVation.
That was risky. If he didn't... Because he wasn't cloaked, that would have may have caught it. But, oh! Stall it on the command center again. INnoVation now really behind on his natural.
That's true. Luckily, he does have a couple more SCVs, so the time is still like... will it matter in like a minute? Maybe. In 2 minutes? Probably not. The Banshee now being chased by the Raven, can't do any more damage. INnoVation has a vastly superior army supply right now, and he could try and push, but Mina's getting the Viking count faster, which I actually think is the better thing to do. I don't know about INnoVation going for double medevacs for what I assume is going to be a drop in the main base. Because, of course, they can't be hopped around anymore on the offensive.
By the way, Uvraf in chat, one of the guys who needs to send us a message about Partoofs, because he's been around for 12 months. That's why I brought that up earlier too. Send me a message here on Twitch, dude, and we'll get you a form to fill out for your Partoof. But he says, I think building any amount of units is the counter to a BC opening. And I know we're off the topic of BCs at this point, but I do want to bring up, like, that's what people thought about Thor, proxy Thors too. Like, just any amount of units would deal with it. But then, surprisingly, you bring like 2 SCVs with it, and suddenly it's no longer dealable with English, I guess. But point of it is, weird unorthodox things in TvT will find ways to work when you don't expect them. So that's why I got hype about things like the battle cruisers, because they're not likely to work, but there's always that chance, and there's actually a very real chance. Anyways, INnoVation comes in with a very strong attack. These tanks are going to be protected by some auto turrets, even a point defense run if necessary. Mina's going to have trouble dealing with this. 8 SCVs dead. He's going to have to pull these back, and this is not going to be something easily broken.
Wow. I really thought the Vikings would have been better here, but there's still...
Oh, if they were landing on top of the tanks, they might be, but uh-oh.
Yeah, they
did
not end up helping as much as I thought they would.
Banshee in the natural too. GG. INnoVation takes the series 2-0 and glides on down the bracket to fight against what is most likely Hurricane next. I don't know who his T Paradise is, but maybe it's an upset and beats Hurricane. I don't know, but a big part of why we picked this bracket was so we could follow INnoVation to the real deal afterwards. So I just want to point out before we leave the party here, INnoVation gets some love from his opponent. Says, I love you, InnoGG. All right, guys, sit tight. We're going to go to our first commercial break of the day. We'll be back in 2 minutes and hopefully with another INnoVation game when we return. So see you soon.